Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I have the Chater Arms 22LR Pathfinder with the 4-inch barrel. We're going to take a couple of shots today, talk about build quality, things I like, dislike about this particular pistol, as well as compare it to some of the competitors out there and where I believe this thing stands. And of course, we'll take several shots so y'all get an idea on how this thing shoots, kind of what the intended use is, things of that nature. This is the second time I've actually tried to make this video. About 3 months ago, I initially brought this pistol out, and there were some issues from the factory. The first one wasn't too severe. This rear sight post, the screws were stripped out on one side and nearly stripped on the other. So the sight post was all over the place. Even at 20 yards, I couldn't hit anything. I got about 10, 12 rounds in, and I checked it, and this blade had nearly fallen out. Not great, but it's something that's not a deal breaker. The second thing, on the other hand, on 7 of these cylinders, this is an 8-shot pistol, but 7 cylinders, it shot fine. As a matter of fact, I loved the trigger squeeze, felt great. However, on the 8th one, I noticed just a little bit of binding, like something wasn't right. Well, sure enough, when they got to the factory, they noticed that, I forget the exact name, but this armature right here was damaged. So they had to replace that whenever I sent it back, and they had to recalibrate all these cylinders to match with the barrel. That's a little concerning that was a problem from the factory, and that was my binding issue. Because one of those cylinders isn't in line with that barrel, you shoot, well, boom, goes the front end of the pistol. Fortunately, with 22, it's not as severe as it could be with 38. But I'm glad they caught it whenever I did send this back in. By the way, when I did send it back in, it did take a little bit of time to get back. However, they have a lifetime warranty. There was no issues, no concerns. They sent it back to me about 8 weeks or so. And this will be the second or the first time I've shot it since. Now, where this pistol falls in lines, especially with Chater Arms being a smaller manufacturer, it's not competing against the Smith & Wessons, the Tauruses, things of that nature. It's kind of in its own sub-brand. Where I really think it fits is a little bit above this Heritage Rough Rider. Now, I'm not knocking Rough Rider. These are great pistols, they are durable and extremely simplistic in design. But what you have here is a single shot 22LR, single action with 6 shots, and when you want to eject, you got to go through each one of these and slowly go through and push the cartridges out. And they can stick quite a bit in that cylinder. That's all fine and dandy. This one, I'm basically retiring. I'm going to redo a little bit, but it's just not that fun to plink with. And, well, again, getting a little old in the tooth, and the sights aren't as good. This fits a little bit above that. So for an extra $150 to $200, wherever you can find this, what you're getting is an 8-shot cylinder, where you can pull them all out. You can eject all 8. And where I think this is really going to be fun is a target pistol in the back. You're not going to go hunting with this thing, really. It's a good little boat pistol for snakes. Put 8 rounds of snake shot in here. That's going to cover you for the entire day and then some. And I'm hoping this will be pretty accurate. Not only that, but the second double action trigger is pretty good. So single action, this thing is crisp. There is no movement hardly at all, no take up, and it breaks super clean. The double action, very heavy. It's not extremely smooth or crisp, especially compared to, Smith & Wesson, stuff like that. But it does the job, no question about it. So that's kind of where this one falls in line. For an extra $150, you get something that's considered medium to low tier 22LR revolver. That's not going to break the bank, but really be a lot more fun to shoot. Now, that being said, let's go ahead, load up a couple shots, and get it on the range. All right. Got the pistol loaded up here with 8 shots. Federal bulk ammo, nothing special. Let's see if we can hit these targets a couple of times. Going single action to begin. All right, 8 shots, function just fine, no big deal. Going to try eject them now. They eject smoothly. All right, let's load another 8 or so shots in. give that a try. Overall, not too bad. I'll have to adjust this rear sight a little bit, and I got it as far down as I can in line. I'm not shooting far distances, only about 20 yards with this thing. With another 8 shots loaded up, I'm going to try double action this time. Much heavier pull. That single action was a great trigger. Nice and light, but this is going to be a little bit heavier. Alright, we're out. I think I had one that didn't go off. We'll check and see if that's a light primer strike. I don't think it was. Here it goes. That primer, or that strike on the primer, I think that's perfectly fine. That was certainly enough power. Let's go ahead and throw it in the pistol one more time just to make sure. Put the cylinder coming up next. Okay, maybe a little bit of a light strike then. But overall, it's ran well. That's the first light primer strike I've had. Maybe I didn't have it seated quite all the way in either. The double action trigger is heavy. It's close to 10 pounds, if not 8 to 11, right in that range. But still putting shots on target. Let's run a couple more cylinders through this thing, and then we'll go to conclusions. Alright, well, this thing runs well. I fixed whatever the issues I was having with it. One thing to note, I have noticed this handle, it's got a little slop in it. Wish I had 2 pins instead of that one, although that could just be that it needs to be tightened up a little bit. But yeah, it moves around a little bit in the hand. Overall though, it's not bad. It's going to do the job I was expecting to, which is going to be replacing the Rough Rider I have sitting over there. It's going to be a good snake gun, accurate easily to 20-25 yards with a little bit of practice, and of course being 22LR and a 4-inch barrel, there's no recoil, so it's really easy for those that haven't shot a lot to try this pistol out. Now you do get a little flak back to the face, a little bit of backsplash. That's pretty normal and common with 22LR revolvers. I don't know if it's necessarily common with the higher quality stuff, but with this you definitely feel a little bit of stuff hitting you in the face coming back at you. So part of it. Had the same thing with the Heritage. But guys, I do hope y'all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please make sure to share, like, subscribe for more, and as always, thanks for watching.